Well, God bless you. Thank you for joining me today for your midday motivation. We are in day number 6, the driving force to favorable outcomes. Today, I want to talk about the Hivites. I want to talk about the Hivites. The Hivites are the enemy of offense. Many of us on a daily basis, I want to ask you this question. I want to begin for the next few moments because I believe it's essential. Have you ever been offended? That have vexed us? I believe it's essential that everything that we are presently experiencing is designed to get us off focus, designed to ensure that we never reach the plateau, that we never reach the place that have been assigned to our life. One of the most dangerous contenders, one of the most dangerous adversaries, one of the most dangerous opponents of favorable outcome, listen, is the enemy of offense. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your pastor, if it's your husband, if it's a family member, a friend, a co-worker, or whoever it may be. If you are operating in the spirit of offense, listen, I want to tell you today, you've got to release it. You cannot move into the promised land. You cannot move into the next level and the next dimension of your life, of your business and your purpose, holding on to an offense. The enemy knows that if you are offended and still holding on to that, it is going to affect your next progress. I believe it's important. An individual, or rather even in a nation that operates with a spirit of offense, is easily vexed, is easily irritated, is easily hurt. Listen, if you're that sensitive, and I understand this moment, I understand the culture and the timing that we're in. Everything causes us to be sensitive. Everything affects us, irritates us, and agitates us. But it's important that in order to reach the next place, the enemy cannot hold me with hurt. The enemy cannot hold me with being irritated. The enemy cannot hold me with being vexed. I believe it is important that you and I would get through and overcome to defeat this enemy called the Hivites. The Hivites is the 6th son of Canaan. And it's important because God gives us instructions. He gives us directions. He gives us the power and the ability, and rather the authority, to overcome. But we can never overcome something unless we identify it and confront it. Today, like an octopus, a spirit of offense, the enemy of offense will attach itself to us, wrap itself around us to ensure, to restrict us from moving to the place that have been assigned to our life. I want to give you some things that will help you today, because it's going to be imperative that there are 3 key areas that the enemy focuses on to help us, or to hinder us from getting to the place that have been assigned to our life. Listen, we're going to confront the enemy of offense. I don't want to be offended. I don't want to operate in a spirit of offense that causes me to miss what have been assigned to my life. Let's release it. Number 1, an assault, watch this, an assault of being provoked. An assault can cause you mentally, emotionally, or either spiritually can cause you, watch this, to set off certain attitudes, certain behaviors, certain offenses that, watch this, that will cause you, watch this, in moments of time of your acceleration, will stop your forward progress. It's going to be essential. It's going to be paramount that we deal with the offense, or the enemy of offense. Number 1, the enemy of offense, number 1, targets and attacks the mind. If he can get you thinking about it, he can get you, the enemy can cause you to continue to repeatedly focus on the things in your mind. The battleground, the battlefield of the mind. The enemy knows if he can cause you to not operate in a place of peace, and you're functioning, watch this, dysfunctionally, the enemy knows that, watch this, if it's in your mind, you're not going to overcome it. I tell you today, I encourage you today, I motivate you today, I want to implore you today, the first thing that we've got to do is to disconnect the thoughts of offense. Disconnect the thoughts of offense. How do I disconnect the thoughts of offense? Number 1, the Bible says, if thou would keep you, the Lord will keep you in perfect peace. Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. You cannot function on the offense or operate or zero in on the offense. You've got to disconnect it. Watch this. Behaviors that are gaining clarity. If I'm going to disconnect it, I've got to understand, I've got to have behaviors that will disconnect, that will give me clarity, that will give me understanding, that will give me peace about the situation. I've got to have peace in my mind. If I don't get peace in my mind, I'm going to miss everything that has been assigned. Too many of us are functioning with the spirit of offense, things that have happened 1 day, 2 days, 3 years, 7 years, 20 years, 40 years. Listen, you cannot keep holding on to the spirit of offense. You've got to disconnect and let it go. Number 2, the offense, the spirit of offense, or the enemy of offense, attach your vision. If he understands 2020, we came in with an expectation. We came in with a declaration that I'm seeing things, I'm manifesting things, I'm expecting things. But the enemy knows that if he can get you distracted, watch this, you will oftentimes miss what has been assigned to your life. Come on, this is going to bless you. The enemy of offense targets your vision because he knows where you're going. He has sensed where you are going. And if you continue to operate in the spirit of offense and fail to, watch this, disengage in seeing what is actually visible, I want to encourage you, if you're going to continue to overanalyze it, if you're going to continue to overprocess, if you're going to continue to operate in this moment that you're missing some things, you've got to understand, I cannot keep focusing on it. If I'm, watch this, seeing it on social media and I'm constantly overanalyzing, they're talking about me, it's about me. Listen, the enemy knows you are offended. The enemy knows you are irritated. Listen, I know this is blessing somebody. You're too focused on what somebody else is doing. You're too busy focused on your enemy. The enemy says, now I have you distracted. Now you're missing the very key elements of where God is trying to take you. Change and shift your vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. You got to see beyond presently where you are. Listen, I'm going to say this one more time. I've been saying this for years. You can stand in one place and decree and declare another place, and it shall come to you. But the enemy understands you can't see that far. Number 3, I got to get out of here. The offense, the enemy of offense attacks the heart. He understands the heart is the center. It is the essence of who we are. Listen, if you pounded the pat in your heart and weigh everything in your heart and take it to heart, listen, it oftentimes become a heart matter. Come on, thank you, Pastor Deborah, and not a hard matter. We're too busy focusing on heart issues that affect us. Listen, the enemy of offense understands that he has your mind, he has your vision, and he has your heart. You've got to disconnect. You've got to disengage. You've got to disassociate, because your next is greater than your past. I'm going to say that again. Your next is greater than your past. I know today is 4th of July. We're celebrating our independence. Listen, the greatest way to celebrate your independence is to get free from the enemy of offense. If it means you've got to go and talk to somebody, if it means that you've got to go to the person that you think offended you, it's best to deal with it head on in order that you may move into your promised land. Listen, I pray that this has motivated you. I pray that this has encouraged you. You cannot, brother, you cannot, sister, continue to function in the spirit of offense and think or believe that you're going to go into the promised land. It's going to contaminate your mind. It's going to contaminate your vision. And most of all, it's going to contaminate your heart. You cannot in this hour become stagnant in what God has assigned. Kill the enemy, destroy the enemy of offense, that it will not take root. Listen, I'm closing with this. Break up the fallow ground and get delivered. The greatest deliverance is the deliverance of being delivered from people. God bless you. This is your midday motivation. I pray that you are blessed.